Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today I'm here to talk to you about a change.org petition called Hasbro, Make Super Articulated 3 3/4 inch Star Wars Figures Mainstream. I created this petition a little bit over a day ago, and the whole intent behind it was to rally support behind the 3 3/4 inch Super Articulated action figure line. From 1977 to about 2013, Star Wars action figures gradually improved. The overall detail and likenesses and articulation was enhanced. And then all of a sudden in 2013, that changed. We got 5.0 articulation figures, which were originally built as a supplement to the super articulated 3 3/4 inch figures. And then in 2015, they basically became the mainstream line. Super articulated 3 3/4 inch figures were designated as a Walmart exclusive Black Series line, which has been very poorly handled by Walmart in terms of distribution and availability. There are still quite a few of these figures I haven't seen in Walmart stores, which is a place I don't really shop at that often to begin with. And they don't really seem to get them online very often. When they do, they sell out after a little while. And some of them they do restock or keep in stock, some of the less popular ones, I guess. But it's really a crapshoot with Walmart. And this is a line that should never have been given to Walmart to begin with. But from where we're at right now, all we can think about is going forward. Now, I am a Hasbro fan, customer, and supporter, which has been the case my entire life, going back to when I was a kid receiving toys from Kenner like Jurassic Park and Swamp Thing, Star Wars, and so many others. I've bought more toys from Hasbro than any other company, hands down, very easily. So it pains me to see that the 5POA line has become the mainstream line at this point in time. I don't think that does a good job of honoring the tradition of Kenner toys, which again have gradually improved over the last few decades. And all of a sudden, that's no longer the case. They're devolving into more simplistic figures that aren't necessarily that cheap for what they are. So the point of this petition isn't to bash Hasbro in any way. I think that they have a very talented team that is passionate about Star Wars and values customer feedback. I think they do a great job with the 6-inch Black Series line, but I think I speak for many a collector when I say that I want them to focus more on 3 3/4 inch super articulated figures. That's kind of the lifeblood of the toy line, and the morale and dedication of many Star Wars collectors has dwindled in recent years due to the availability of 3 3/4 inch Black Series figures and the overall lack of attention that segment has been receiving. Most of those figures these days, again, are very hard to find, but not only that, most of them are repacks. Some of them are good repacks, some of them aren't. And that's why I felt that now, for the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, this was the right time to create this petition and garner interest for super articulated figures in the 3 3/4 inch scale. Now, I am very pleased that in one day alone, we received 500 signatures on this petition. That was absolutely unprecedented. I didn't expect that whatsoever. But we can't stop there. We gotta make 1,000 our next goal, and then 1,000 more, and so forth. If you haven't already, and you are a fan of the 3 3/4 inch super articulated line and feel that it should be the mainstream line coming from Hasbro Star Wars, then please do consider signing this petition and sharing it with all your friends and all the collecting websites for Star Wars and toy websites in general. I'm not saying that every single figure should be super articulated, but not all figures should be 5POA either. In the last decade, in the 2000s, Hasbro did a very nice job balancing articulation for different figures. Background characters and secondary characters received a little bit less articulation, while the primary characters and the troopers always had plenty of articulation. They seem to have handled the line by saying, well, hey, if this character did this in the film, the figure should be able to do this as well. And at this point in time, it's basically take it or leave it. If you don't want a 5POA Star Wars Rebels figure, well, too bad. I mean, that's your only option, which is very unfortunate. And again, this being the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, I think it's time to honor the lifeblood and the tradition of 3 3/4 inch Star Wars action figures by bringing more articulation into the mainstream. And so that they're not just available at Walmart, so that they're available at major retailers in the US, but I mean, ideally worldwide. That way everybody that collects this beloved and cherished toy line has a chance to procure their own figures for their collections. Again, I will throw a link down below. Be sure to sign. It only takes a minute. Be sure to tell all your friends about this. Be sure to tell your favorite collecting website about it. That way we can organize and that way we can get a lot of signatures for this. And at the end, we will provide our petition to Hasbro so that they may see for themselves how much fans love, support, and want more highly articulated figures in the mainstream action figure line for 3 3/4 inch Star Wars. Alright, my friends, so there is a lot of work to be done. Let's get to it. Let's get this signed and shared. And let's see how many supporters actually exist in the Star Wars community for 3 3/4 inch highly articulated figures. I can't do this alone. I need your help. And I'm hoping that when I submit the list to Hasbro that we have thousands and thousands of signatures. So hopefully we get there. But again, I can't do it without your help. And if the most you can do is sign the petition, again, it only takes a minute. And think of it this way. For 1 minute of your time, you might be helping to ensure years of awesome, highly articulated Star Wars figures. If this petition helps, then I think that's a pretty good trade-off. I'll keep you updated on the status of this as time goes on. So stay tuned, and until next time, bye-bye.